Welcome to the APTA's second stop on the Grand Prix Tour, the Chicago Charities, sponsored by the APTA's national sponsors, Viking and Uline, and local sponsors, North Shore Orthopedic Institute, Fields Automotive Group, Walled Lake Planning and Wealth Management, and the Messina Group. We are live from the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Jerry Viant, along with Mark Fischel and our guest commentator, Max Laprovere, for the men's final between the number 7 seeds, Sven Burus and Max Irdoja, and the number 3 seed, actually it's Irdoja, sorry, and the number 3 seeds, Czerwinski and Graham McNerney. And Mark, we're not sure what we're going to see right now.
Yeah, so it was interesting, Jerry, as we went through our Viking keys to victory, which we'll get to in a moment. You know, normally when we're in the finals of a big tournament like this, it's teams that we've seen played multiple times. So here, looking at our players, you have Sven Burus. He's out of the New Canaan Country Club of New Canaan. He's director of platform tennis there, and he's wearing a yellow jacket, which you'll see when we go to the court. Irdoja is at Essex Fells. He's the lefty playing the deuce side. On the far side is Czerwinski. Modic's on Wednesday Club, and Graham McNerney is wearing the blue hat.
So Max, let's take a look at the full court screen here, and if you could just walk us through each player and just point out some of the strengths that these players have individually.
Yeah, sure. Starting with Marek, super athletic. I mean, the athleticism on the court is beyond anything you've ever seen. All 4 of these players are ridiculous athletes. Marek, huge forehand, very quick. He actually drives backhands and has a lot of offense at the net. Lots of cut shots. He rolls the ball really well. Switching over to Graham. Graham is kind of like the mastermind of the team. He's very smart. He hits very specific spots on the court, and really looks to break people down. He also has great forehand, a lot of waterfalls at the net. You'll see a lot of that, and great hands. Switching over to the other side, you have Irdoja playing the deuce side. Arguably the most athletic guy in paddle tennis these days. He covers so much court, humongous forehand, lots of patience, and great shot selections. At the net, he's known for hitting a really big roller. And then you have his partner, Mr. Burus. You haven't seen him as much. He hasn't played a lot the last couple of years. He played with Roman. And I think he played a few PFP events, and this is his first NRT or Grand Prix. And great backhand, forehand, doesn't drive it very often, but great serve as well, has a lot of spin. Terrific player.
And Mark, you called both semi-final matches, so give us a Reader's Digest on each match that you called.
Well, the match that was the hardest one to get your arms around was the Czerwinski, McNerney, Araya Broderick match, because Araya was so bad, it's hard to tell how much of that was because Czerwinski, McNerney played well, or he just played poorly. The other match with Burus and Irdoja, when their win over Compton Kaler, they played really well, and they played really well down the stretch, which is something they both struggled with a little bit, getting tight.
I watched the last part of the third set for that, and what impressed me was their team chemistry. There was a lightness about it. I mean, even though it was deep in the third set, they were laughing and talking with each other, and Burus was being set up with his backhand, but he was looking to set up Irdoja, and they were chatting in between a lot, and I haven't seen them play together, so I'm interested to see what the matchup is going to be. We discussed with the Viking keys to success, and it was interesting. We're going to bring them up. So we've got Burus, Irdoja, and I've never seen Mick that patient.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the battle he fights. When you're that talented with that many shots, it's harder to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed in the points. There was a willingness. Sometimes he can go off the reservation for a bit and then come back in, dialed in, but he seemed like he was really dialed in the whole way. And Max, we were talking about things that they need to do, avoid Czerwinski's forehand?
So clean. The forehand is a thing of beauty. You can't serve anywhere to Czerwinski. He returns clean, perfectly clean balls every time, and it's got so much authority behind it. It's hard to follow it up to the net. A lot of formations you'll need to do on that.
And I think on this, and as long, this is their first final together, if they take that sense of fun into the final with them.
I think one of the advantages they've got is Irdoja's got a terrific serve to the deuce court, and that may mitigate a little bit the Czerwinski return.
I think you'll see Czerwinski take some cuts early on just to see if he can get going with it. But it'll be certainly interesting. Mick's got a great deuce-side serve.
Are we waiting for these guys or anything? There's no, don't stay there.
And the keys
They would've told me.
to success for Czerwinski, McNerney. Obviously avoid the big thumping forehand of Mick in the middle.
And then you really want to bait Burus. You want to make him hit that forehand. And what we saw in the semis was a refusal to hit it on their terms, only on his.
How far over will Mick come? Like, you're trying to bait?
I don't think he'll come as far over as the second court, but I do think he's going to roam a long way to the middle. And Mick loves doing that.
He does, okay. And the waterfall.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. They just have to be very careful hitting too many of those. Both Mick and Sven are so athletic, and they bank on hitting the ball high above the net, so they'll eat up those down-up overheads. The waterfall is it's not the best shot for this specific matchup.
And as you said, Jerry, it's really a huge staple of McNerney's game.
Yeah. And the temperature is like 40 degrees. It's cloudy. I mean, it's like perfect paddle weather. It's the same as yesterday. You can really just...
All right, this is the final. Congratulations.
Oh, here's our umpire.
You guys are making your own calls. I will overrule a call if you ask me to. If I do overrule it, that's a loss of point. It's not a matter of a replay or anything like that. We got people here. We got the microphones. Keep any language to a minimum. No need for any of that. If you guys hit me or hit the chair, on accident, I hope, that's a loss of point. We'll switch balls after 7 games. Anything else? Spin away. Spin it up.
Viking Athletics is the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The official paddle of the APTA, engineered to provide superior feel and the perfect balance of power, control, spin, and durability. The Viking paddle is the official paddle of the APTA, the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour, and of Max Lipavere.
Thank you.
You love that Viking paddle, don't you?
Yeah.
So do you think one team having a 3-set battle over the other team having a straight set win, the physicality of the way the sport is now, or are these guys just in great shape, Max?
Great question. I don't think today you'll see them too tired. Both teams look fresh. I don't think the Caller-Compton win really took too much out. It was a physical match, but both of these guys are in great shape. I don't think that will play a part in this match.
And not just the physicality, but mentally. It's having to hang in there.
It's really important for Mick and Sven to get off to a good start. They need to get a couple games going early on so that the confidence stays high. I think that's a key for them as well to do well in this match. If they start slowly, Czerwinski and McNerney will jump on them quickly.
You worried about nerves for them, Max?
Maybe more on Sven, less on Mick. But no, they're pretty good. They've played a lot of big matches.
How about game plan? Who do you think in that team has come up with the strategy?
Good question. I'm curious to see the pace of play we're going to see today. Czerwinski, McNerney like to play relatively fast.
So that's Marek Czerwinski serving.
And just interestingly enough, Jerry, Irdoja and McNerney played together last weekend at the PFP event.
Love 15.
And had Hughes and Powers in all sorts of trouble, served for the match at 6-5 in the second set. So they're intimately familiar with each other's games.
Yep. And this is Sven Burus receiving serve.
Oh, a couple of confident cuts. Irdoja with the running one-hand topspin backhand.
You
and
say
a smile on his face after he hit it.
Yeah, and you say avoid his forehand, but he can also thump his backhand.
Great action early. Burus and Irdoja look very comfortable.
And the speed of play is slow. It's going to be a filling out.
Who do you think the speed favors, Max? Who wants to play fast?
I think Mick and Sven would rather play slow, and I think Graham and Marek would rather have a little more pace. They have a lot of offense. There you go.
Good bail from Irdoja there. And normally the faster play benefits the more athletic, the one with the best skills, and I might argue the one with the most skills in the court is Irdoja.
McNerney wants that
being-
fast
15,
exchange,
15,
right,
30.
with quick hands.
Yep. Irdoja always said he wanted to play like Johan.
Johan Durant.
30 all.
You'll see Marek likes to serve for the corners on both sides. You have to take the returner server off the deck. He tends to hit the nick very often. You'll see it here.
Where they came up with so many of those volleys after poor overheads in the semis. They just had all the answers.
They always seem to be in the right spot. Talking about McNerney and Czerwinski.
That's what we were
40,
talking about.
30.
He got lucky there, but McNerney's got to be careful with that waterfall overhead. I mean, he's
McNerney is
grinning.
laughing it off. He knows he escaped.
He could be pegged.
There's a good forehand from Burus.
Oh.
Irdoja. If Irdoja's not falling on the ground, he's not trying.
It's again fast points.
Great
Benefits
play.
Game,
Czerwinski and
Czerwinski, they
McNerney.
lead 1-love
You know,
per
for a
set.
big guy, he sneaks right in, right? I mean, he is.
He's got such a great sense of when to do it.
Yeah.
The movement is good, but it's more the sense and the understanding of what his opponent is looking at.
Yeah, I mean, you almost want a camera on him away from the ball because he's just right there, but quietly. Just want to thank one of our sponsors. Uline is the leading distributor of shipping industrial and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Uline, the best selection products and people for an unforgettable customer experience.
There's the forehand they're looking to avoid. And Max, we talked last night, Brad and I, about how good Czerwinski is hitting that forehand moving to the center of the court.